We've all been there. You're visiting your grandparents whilst on half-term from uni, sat having a lovely cup of overbrewed tea, and they ask you the dreaded question. So, have you met anyone yet, love? How's your love life, sweetie? You best get married before I pop my clogs. Okay, maybe I made the last one up, but you know what I mean. You can't exactly tell 93-year-old Judy that you're hoeing full-time, and I'm not sure conservative Oldie Clyde wants to know how many times you've picked up the morning after pill. But also, you equally don't need them thinking you're sat crying into a bottle of Pinot Grigio, longing for someone to finally come and sweep you off your feet. So what do you say? Well, Emma Watson might have the answer. In yet another interview in which some half-assed journalist probes a celeb for goss on their love life, our favourite feminist babe, Emma Watson, has told us she isn't single, she's self-partnered. I quite like it. It's like a woke, unproblematic version of the incel. And obviously, the internet lost its mind. See here, here, and here. Whilst I'm sure many a boomer is currently sat rolling their eyes decrying us ridiculous youth for coming up with yet another term to identify ourselves with, it's worth hearing her out first. The context Emma gave is the incredible pressure people feel to have achieved some form of monogamous relationship by a certain age. Right. You might argue that it's not really relevant anymore, that people don't really care whether you're wifed up or not. It's 2019, it's chilled. But is it though? Our gal Emma told Vogue she felt huge amounts of anxiety reaching her late 20s, saying, if you have not built a home, if you do not have a husband, if you do not have a baby and you're turning 30 and you're not in some incredibly secure, stable place in your career, or you're still figuring things out, there's just this incredible amount of anxiety. You've got to admit, she's got a point. And she's not the first millennial to come up with a term to get away with the single status. We just love a new term. I mentioned incels earlier, a buzzword this year for the involuntarily celibate. It's basically a group of sad men who can't get laid, but rejecting the usual term for these men, losers. They formed a cult-like internet faction where they all get together and cry about how nobody fancies them. On the same level of problematicness, is that a word? We can find the sapiosexual. Wondering what the fuck I'm on about? Well, there are people who claim that they are not attracted to people based on their banging body or sharp jawline, but rather like their partners to be well versed in the verses of Keats, educated on the ins and outs of cell reproduction, and know full well how the hell it is the plane can actually stay in the sky without dropping out. Yeah, they're attracted to intelligence. You might think this is right up our millennial street, but I can confirm, as the official spokesperson for the UK's youth generation, it's not. It's actually a really elitist bullshit excuse for rich, privileged, posh people keeping their rich, privileged genes in an alarmingly small and very white pond. Fuck that. On the safer side of new identification labels, you'll find the aromantic. You've heard of asexual people, whereby they don't experience attraction on a sexual level. Well, this is like its romantic counterpart. Some people want to shag their way through a Pacto to arena, but don't want them to wine and dine them first. The aromantic finds people hot and wants to bang, but just isn't that arsed about the committed long-term malarkey. There's also a cheeky little side identity coming off of this one, which is called the cupio-romantic, which is when someone doesn't have the ability to feel a romantic connection, but still wants one. Boy, that must be shit. So when you think about it, Emma Watson can sit happy at home drinking her cup of tea that she needs no man to make her because it's her life. What do you reckon? You're going to start identifying as self-partnered?